Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to Woodbine Racing Live. Elisa along with Jeff as we get set for 9 races today, which is quite nice to have 9 after 11 on yesterday's program. And it kind of looks like a winter wonderland out there now.
It does. You know, I was driving in. I live further north. You live towards Niagara region, and we had quite a bit of snow this morning.
So did we.
And you got hit pretty good as well. But then I got onto the 401, and it was just mostly like just wet, a little slushy, and then it turned into just being wet. So. But, you know, from a riding comfortable point of view, not that I'm riding, but it's a lot nicer now than it was, say, like on Thursday's program. And a bit of an oddity for today's card of racing, too, Elisa. 6 of our 9 races are route races, which you don't see all that often here at Woodbine.
And then I think what the Thursday program is like a majority of sprint races.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of this, and then on Thursday you get a little bit of that. Now, yesterday you got a whole lot of Raffy. He rode 11 races. He rode the entire card yesterday, and we knew he was going to have a good day. 5 winners on the program yesterday for Raffy.
So now he's on top by 8, and that's probably too much to catch, I would think, at this point. I think as one of my favorite track announcers, I think it was Phil Saltzman, used to say this from Calder, and they're not going to get him today. And I think that's going to be the theme with that one, too. So, yeah, we had some exciting finishes. Obviously, we'll take a look back at the stake race as well. And it was a bit of an early birthday present for the winning trainer yesterday because it's his birthday today.
Yes, happy birthday goes out to Kevin Attard, 29 years old again this year. And he won the valedictory with a really slick steer from Daisuke Fukumoto.
Boy, did he ever give this horse a beautiful ride. Made that bold move down the backside. And it's one of those where if it works, everybody's like, great move.
Right, and if it
doesn't work, what were you doing moving so early? Poor Jokestar runs great yet again, finishes in the 2nd place position, but wasn't going to get to Hammerhead on this day. But you know what's interesting too about Hammerhead? For as much as we've seen him, and we've seen him a lot here at Woodbine, we've seen him down the States as well, that's only his 2nd career win.
Really?
Yeah, he was a one-time winner going into that race.
Wow. No, and he's owned by some big connections too. So congratulations goes out to everybody associated with Hammerhead getting the win yesterday. Of course, Daisuke Fukumoto raising his hands in the air in celebration. And there was actually a lot of, I saw a lot of social media surrounding that yesterday, you know, pictures of Daisuke, because we don't often see him in the stakes winner circle. But like you said yesterday too, he kind of flies under the radar and he has, you know, consistent years every season.
And now, as you said, he's made his way into the Tiller barn, which is obviously a big thing. He made his way back in there, but he's not a, like, would you say he's the go-to rider for any barn? Probably not.
Probably, well, maybe Tiller, you know, at this stage in the game.
But you know what? And he does very, very well. For the rides that he gets, he makes the most of them.
He does, absolutely. Now, we had a big price winner on the program yesterday as well. $77.90, the return on Lady on a Mission.
Cost us the pick 4.
Yeah, because we were 3 out of 4.
Of course. We had a nice winner to start off, too. 9-1 shot to start off.
And then after that, well, we don't want to talk about it, but, you know, it was a good card yesterday. I thought Ever Dangerous, you know, just kind of put on a show for $25,000. No claims. You know, got away with another one there.
One more brew got claimed out of that race.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think there were a few people that were going to take a look at that one as well.
I think it was the Orwellians actually took that one for Kevin Attard.
Well, if you're headed down south, you know,
true.
Starting to look for some horses. And the other thing too is not just down south. Like before, it used to be, oh, everybody's going to Florida. You know, there's a lot of horses from here that are going to make their way to Turfway because it's not that far of a ship. If you're ready to go, it's only like 7 hours, and I know that personally because my family lives in Paris, so that's only, you know, 8 hours door to door. I always pass Turfway as soon as I cross the Ohio River. But we're going to see a lot of Canadian connections there next Saturday, especially too.
Yeah, that's true. Caitlin of Greatness, Dresden Rowe, Marty's got a horse down there as well. So yeah, a lot of big names coming up. But you know what's going to happen next year? I say a lot of them go to Belmont next year once they get that synthetic surface ready to go.
Yeah.
So it won't be as tough as Turfway, and I think a lot of people will go down there.
Yeah, but if you have a Kentucky bred boy, I'd be looking at Turfway because the money is huge there. What happened this morning? Well, we had probably some light snow this morning during training, and we had a number of horses that, went out there, like, it's starting to dwindle. There's a lot of barns that are wrapping things up or starting to ship to other locations for the winter months. Track rated as a 3 because it was snow covered. But the work of the day comes from the Kevin Attard barn. And really, Ernie has always seemed to have isolated these Kevin Attard horses in workouts in the morning. But I mean, why not? Like, he's having a great season. 48-1, out in a minute and 2 for Faber. Don't know where we're going to see that one next.
So I was actually talking with Al Allwelling the other day, and he was mentioning that he's signed a bunch down to Florida with Kevin, so I wouldn't be surprised if Faber was maybe on the van to go down there. So we'll see if that's where Faber elects to go. And Ernie says the best betting race of the day is going to come up in race number 6 on the program. And that 6th race on the day, is that the Mad Dog and Joe Pat's Gamble race? That is, yeah.
Well, that race changes significantly
Pat,
because Bachelor Pad coming out, and I would have loved to have seen him win.
Same. Interestingly, Stewart scratch in there. That was a little bit interesting. So I don't know if they want to go somewhere else next week, but we'll see.
We'll see. Today you will see black armbands on all of our jocks, as well as we remember the great Mike Doyle. There's been like so much outreach, you see, and people talking about just the influence of Mike, and it's all great things. He was a really well-loved man.
Thoroughbred Daily News, Richard Hogan, one of his best friends, wrote a lovely piece to remember Mike Doyle. So if you get a chance to check that out on the web, just Google that and you can read that there. So and a lot of American horse people too that knew Mike, when he went down to the fairgrounds a lot, and obviously raced at Gulfstream as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to miss him greatly, and that's a real nice gesture being made by the jockeys.
Exactly. So when you see that today, now you know what that's for. Let's get started with the handicapping on today's program. We'll kick things off in the opener. First race on the program is an optional 40 going a mile and a 16th. As Jeff mentions today, lots of races that are going to be going around 2 turns. Not a big field here in the opener, though. Just 5 horses who will compete. Z-Train is the current favorite at 6-5. I kind of thought that, well, first of all, and I think you're going to show this, but this Just Magnificent ran a winning race last start out, and it was all ruined with a big slip in the starting gate. And it's not her fault. It's not anybody's. Well, it's not hers and it's not the rider's, that's for sure. But she just lost her whole hind end in the starting gate, and you're going to see it here on this replay.
Yeah, no, she was pretty much toast coming out of the gate when this happened in here, and I'm going to show it to you in slow motion too. Like almost goes right down to her nose.
And then her back leg slipped out from underneath her
so
too.
she couldn't grab the track and the starting gates, and she's a horse that has no speed to begin with. And now look where she is. And Z-Train is going to get... the reason I'm picking this horse is I thought Z-Train got the better of the trips on this day. Z-Train is going to eventually, in this event, finish in the 4th place position, and Just Magnificent's going to finish in 2nd. But this horse does start to fly here on the far outside. My main concern, though, in handicap in this race is I don't think there's a lot of pace in here. And it might be Z-Train that's able to be the pace in this spot. But watch the 10, that's Z-Train, and watch us here on the far outside. So we're covering a lot more ground than what Z-Train is in here. And here comes Just Magnificent on the outside, and very effective off the pace rally. This is kind of what she's fallen into in terms of her running style, Lisa. She likes to go right to the back of the bus and make that one big winning move. The barn's had a terrific year, and I hope they wrap it up on a really positive note here today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough one to lose because, boy, if she would have been able to win it, what a recovery that would have been. But even just to recover and finish a game second like that, I was wondering, too, if she went back to the barn. After slipping on your front end and your hind end, I thought, geez, I wonder if she went back to the barn and was a little worse for wear. But that's not going to be the situation as she comes back here to compete today. So a lot of us going to the 2 Just Magnificent over the 4 Z-Train. But I mean, Rafi's on Z-Train.
Yeah, I know.
And Rafi's, I think, didn't we talk about this, refer to it as the train yesterday? Get all aboard the Rafi train. So we'll watch for that one as well.
And I think that horse is the pace of the race. And Rafi's not afraid to use that tool if he's got it.
No,
right?
And he's riding like a man possessed.
He is.
Yes, it's a lot of fun to watch him riding right now. So that's the opener on the program. We'll skip the 2nd race and we'll go to race number 3 on the card. 3rd race goes 7/8. It's a maiden event for $15,000, and these are 2-year-olds. So bottom end 2-year-olds competing. This is as low as we write for the babies. And, it's always a shame when you see a good Magic Good Magic is a $125,000 stud that's here for 15. But here's the thing. They didn't pay a lot of money for this horse at all. So you kind of wonder, like, what did she look like, Baytown Glinda, when she went through that Keeneland sale back in September of 2024? She's a Good Magic, $125,000 stud who was purchased for only $2,000. So she must have had something that was up. Now, she did debut here in Toronto, and this is a trainer that's based down in the United States, mostly in Kentucky, right?
Yep.
So Rafi is going to ride yet again.
So let's take a look at the start in here, because this horse got totally fazooed coming out of the starting gate. Watch post position number 3 and loses all chances of effect. The horse that caused this mess was disqualified. That's the 4. And just repeatedly got totally dismantled in here. And just watch what Rafi does here. I wanted to pick your brain about this, because now he brings the horse way to the outside for the entire run down the backside. Do you think this horse just was not really liking the kickback
That's
on
what
that
I'd
day?
guess.
And could that be a concern today? Because now all of a sudden he drops down from post position number, what do you have on this race? Post position number 3 to post position number 1.
Not going to be as easy.
So, but maybe Rafi can get the horse, if the horse breaks okay, we might see a little bit more speed from this horse today.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to ignore, the drop from 25 to 15, the troubled trip right from the start. You want to give the horse maybe one more shot here, and then maybe look at some others that are taking drops, like Sanhedrin for Tino Attard, who drops from, it's been 40, 25, now all the way down for $15,000, but has the references to Fire and Wine.
And then 22 Souls, I've been chasing this horse based on that trouble trip back on July the 13th and has lost by a combined 56 lengths since I picked this horse. I'm off the bandwagon now. They're going to make an equipment change as the blinkers are going to go off. You might be asking us, well, guys, why are you looking at a maiden 15,000 claimer? It's because we don't know where to go in this race. It's part of the pick 5, and I've already put together my pick 5 ticket. I've pressed the all button.
I think you should. I think you should. That's exactly what I was going to say. Hit the all button there in race number 3, because low price 2-year-olds are often tough to sort through, and you have a first-time starter in the mix as well from the outside, but not the draw that you necessarily want with a first-timer to get onto the outside. Let's go to race number 4. Fourth race kicks off the pick 4. It also kicks off the Jackpot Power pick 6. Right, so it's a little earlier, because we have 9 races today instead of 10 or 11. And that Jackpot Power Pick 6 carryover is close to $27,000. We have a field of 6 here in this one at a mile and a 16th. Now, Not a Care is an interesting horse in this race, because this horse has had some really tough luck. Races on October the 11th, and is one of those horses that fell down in the race. And then, they took their time. They brought the horse back November the 16th. And what happens on that day? That was the day that we canceled. Right after. And I don't think anybody was making up any ground that day. I'm Your Medicine Man just went to the front and kept on going. Remember, the wind was really strong. And I think this horse has a lot of excuses. I'd love to see a clean trip for this one here today. Maker's Flatter is here. This is the other DePaulo horse who also comes out of the same race.
And remember, they were in the paddock for a long time on that day too, because they were doing some work on the track, trying to get it ready to rock and roll, but unfortunately did not materialize. Maker's Flatter comes out of that Fire and Wine Trevally race, then loses to I'm Your Medicine Man, who was a clocker horse first time out, didn't win first time out, but won second time out. I just think it's a bit of a standout in this race, unless you think Noboru is going to be able to really move up with the drop down in class. It's run not bad, but I think for 40 is very well spotted in here, but I feel pretty good about the chances of the 5. And then Grand Warrior, Dale claimed this horse. The horse ran better last time up for 25, and now gets on to Lasix. So we'll see if maybe that one's able to turn things around as well.
And we'll move up here today after being claimed for $25,000. It's interesting. We have 2 horses coming out of that same race back on October the 11th, both of which fell down. One being Not a Care, the other being King Ronan. And I mean, today, to me, for King Ronan is just getting around.
Mentally,
Get around, have a nice, safe journey.
Now, as Patty Dixon Dixon going to get us in the pick 4 again with Decadent Dash, or Decadent Danish, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Maybe we should be a little concerned. It's not the right price. I mean, this horse will take some support, I think, unless they're 30-1, right? These Dixon horses have been winning at big odds. Race number 5 goes a mile and an eighth. We're going to skip that one today. We'll go to the 6th race, though, which is an optional 15 starter for 7. Now, this race changes a whole bunch because we would have had Bachelor Pad in here, and I was hoping for him to get his 18th win of his career this afternoon. Now, he's a steward scratch, so who knows? Maybe we'll see him another time here in Toronto as we have just 4 days left of racing to go. Speed comes from the 4 likely, and I think, you know, if this horse goes to the front, same with Kinetic Stone, who likes to sprint as well, you know, could set up nicely for another horse to come from off of the pace.
Yeah, and that might be Asking My Name, who was able to come from off the pace last time. I wasn't able to beat Bachelor Pad, but had a very effective rally. So Bachelor Pad's on the front end. Where are we? We're way back here. But the best news of all is the fact that he was able to stay on the rail the entire way. And we have seen this time and time again. If you stay glued to that fence, more often than not here at Woodbine, good things are going to happen. And that's exactly what Jalon Samuel did on this day. And he's got a lot of ground to cover in here. And in terms of making up grounds, obviously he's got a ground-saving trip, but he's got a lot to kind of reel in the top 3 in this spot. But a really good effort and passes everybody. And is going to beat Warlord Cruisin' by about a length and a quarter when everything is all said and done. And they're going to have a bit of a rematch here coming up in this spot as well. You know, Ask My Name got really good there for a series of races, then tailed off a little bit, and then got back on the beam in that most recent race. This is one of these horses, Elisa, one of the rare horses that we've seen this year, claimed off of Devin Gittins, that has run well.
That's true. That's true. But Dale's had the magic touch this year.
Well,
I mean, he has had a really good year.
Yep.
And even, you know, you think about Misty Eyed, you know, a horse like this, they've had some good fortune with horses that they've claimed this season.
Yep.
Warlord Cruisin' is who I land on, and that's as a result of the scratch.
Yep,
and
same.
I think, because I think all of us,
Yep.
at least I know I was, you likely were too,
Yep.
going to use Bachelor Pad in the top spot.
I
so
am against
it
Pat's
changes.
gamble today. I just think, even with the drop, he's so off form right now.
I know,
can't.
but geez, this is a really big drop.
It
you know,
is.
if he's got his moment, it could be today. You know, here's the thing: we don't say this very often at this time of the year. Warlord Cruisin's making his 3rd start in the form cycle. And that's an angle for a lot of people out there.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to Gulfstream.
Yeah. I would think so. Yeah. So that's race number 6. 6th race will kick off the final pick 4, and just keep your eye on all those wagers for you this afternoon because of there being 9 races. They're not exactly where they always are positioned. Race number 7 is where we kick off the final pick 3, and this one has a field of 6, mile and a 16th, optional 40. And Good as Gone could be just that in this spot. He was a nice winner under Pietro Moran when traveling around 2 turns back on September the 13th. He's got Pietro back aboard today.
What I like about this race is, and you can't say this all that often, but every horse in this race picked up a check last time out. So they're in good form right now, coming in relatively good form at least. And I spoke about the first race, and I don't think there's a lot of pace in that first race. I think it's going to be Z-Train that cuts it. I think it'll be Good as Gone that tries to cut in this race too. You know, you look back at that last race where they went 7/8 of a mile. That didn't go as well, but you know, we're going to go around 2 turns here today, and I think that should help out the situation. So, you know, I just, from a pace point of view, that's kind of where I landed in here. Starship Serenity beat Just Magnificent, so we'll get a bit of a reference early on in the program as to how that goes with that particular horse. Others in this spot, I don't mind Peach Posey. I thought the horse ran okay, but I'm pretty comfortable with 2-3-3-2 in this spot.
Okay, but here's something that's interesting, and I tossed the horse in for 4th. How many times in the last 6 to 8 weeks have we seen Raffi riding for Barnes that he never rides
good point.
for?
Yeah.
And he is going to ride for Dale Powell. Never, ever seen him ride for this barn, but he's going to ride Beautiful Sky here in this race. He goes first, start off with a claim, and I get that it's a big jump up.
Yeah.
But you know, if there's something we've seen that's become a bit of a pattern in the last little while, it's Raffi getting on horses for barns he never rides for,
Bingo.
and he's able to move. What would you say, 60% of them up?
Yep, the way he's
Doesn't
going
work
right
all
now.
the time.
No,
but
no.
It works more times than not.
And Elisa's putting together a bit of a feature that we're going to do next week about where all these riders are going over the winter time. We'll tell you what the plans are for
can't tell you
Raffi
yet.
coming up next week.
Race number 8. The 8th race is Two-turn race again, 1 mile and a 16th, optional 40, and we have a field of 6. Not big fields really on today's program, which means there's going to be a lot of chess matches as far as riders are concerned. Cuban Thunder comes in off of a second place effort, and that was behind Got Me Good, who I recall I think went straight to the front and kept on going back on November the 14th. So couldn't reel in the horse who was setting the pace. But Joe West is here for conditioner Jamie Begg. Now he had a winner on the program yesterday. Gallyhead, one that we absolutely love. I think a barn favorite over there. But this is one that's come in from Finger Lakes, and as you mentioned, he likes to pick up some horses at the end of that Finger Lakes meet.
Just has an eye for whatever it is. He's got an eye for those horses at Finger Lakes that will do well here at Woodbine. Now, I was impressed first time out with how the horse ran. I did not pick the horse in that no, I did pick him last time out, but he finished 4th and against the Speedy Bear. You like Pain Spirit, who came out of that race to win rather nicely the other day. So I do think that Joe West is obviously in fine form. Is this a better route horse? Is this a better sprinter? I don't know. I just think it's in very good form right now. I landed on Sprung Loose. It's the reference to Holiday Snooze that I really like. Even 3 starts, go and finishing 3rd. That was a good run for 25,000. I just don't think this field's come up tough.
No.
I don't think this is a very tough 40 by any means. And I could even be talked on to, I realized Scudiera's last 2 races have been terrible, but 3 starts ago looked fantastic when he got the pace with Political Warfare. I am glad for our purposes, Lisa, because we're going to play the early pick 4. I'm glad this is race number 8. And not part of the early pick 4 today.
Yeah, absolutely. So 8th race will kick off the late double for you on this afternoon's program. 9th is where we go to next, and that's how we play the Jackpot High Five finale. Now, this is your last chance to play it. If it carries over again, then it's frozen. If it goes, it goes. But if it doesn't go, then we will freeze it, and we'll play it next Saturday. With a mandatory payout. And the reason we'll do it next Saturday is just in case something happens on Sunday and we're not able to get that card in. We're not saying that something's going to happen on Sunday, but this snow globe here in Canada is tough to sort out sometimes. But temperamental, I guess we can say. So to wrap things up, it's a wide open 75, going 2 turns, and I think Good Sin is in a great spot to win. The more we kind of talk about today's program, the more it looks like, and I know Rafi's ahead by many right now, but it looks like Pietro could pick up a couple.
Yeah, it would be nice if he did. I want to have a race, for the closing week. And Good Sin's been very good to you this year. You've picked up this horse on a couple of different occasions and has done some good things for you. I've landed on Adapted, but this is a really risky play. I just want to read you some of the chart line comments that are on the far right side with this horse, okay? Broke through the gate, reluctant to load, hard to load, broke out, weird starts, all away slowly. All of a sudden, last time out was perfect. And what happens? We win the race.
You know what? You know what's one I've never seen Kelly write before? Antsy. But I know what antsy means.
Yeah. And so hopefully we break okay with Adapted here today. And if he rather minds his manners in the starting gates, I think he's got a shot to repeat in here. 1-4, I'm not too worried about anybody else, to be honest with you. I could put Stonks on the bottom portion of my ticket.
Chancel off of the win.
If Speed does well, maybe Chancel. Yeah. But other than that,
it's after that you just kind of Yahtzee them. You throw the dice and see what you can get. So once again, if it does not go tonight, the Jackpot High Five, then it will be frozen and we will play it as a mandatory payout next Saturday. So you won't see it on the Thursday program or the Friday program. 9 races in store for you this afternoon. No stakes events for you today. Smaller fields on today's program as well, but it looks like we're going to be in for some decent weather for racing. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at our plays of the day and the Clocker Report.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Welcome back inside the studio. Elisa and Jeff with just 28 minutes on the clock before race number 1 of 9 on the program today. Reminder, you will see black armbands on all of our jockeys that are riding this afternoon, and that is to celebrate a life well lived by conditioner Mike Doyle. Okay, plays of the day. What have you got for today?
Got scratch.
Me too.
Bachelor Pad was one of my plays of the day. Now, the best we can do is go 3-4-3. We'll start off with Military Force coming up in race number 2. I will key that one, the pick 5. If any horse is overdue for a win here at Woodbine this year, it's got to be Swan Lake. Has been running way too well to lose, and I think he's found the right group of friends today. And then my Speed Threat As Good As Gone coming up in race number 7 on the day. So you're down to 3 as well.
Yeah, because Bachelor Pad, you know, I would have loved to have watched him go today. Just Magnificent has a major excuse. You showed us the replay and still ran huge to finish second. Military Force, I got as a key for everything on this afternoon's card. And Can Repeat Good Sin. Well, you know I like Good Sin. Not just, yeah, let's just leave it at that.
For this purpose, it's the horse.
It's the horse, exactly. Plays from upstairs, turbocharged at 6-1 in race number 3. What?
That's the
Turbocharged.
maiden 15, is it not?
Okay, what is that? That is the Tino
horse.
Attard horse.
Wow, they're picking a horse that got
Wowzers.
distance last time out.
Okay, well, hey, if it comes in,
See, we have a
good for them.
substitute teacher today producing the show, so I think he's trying to be a little bit crazy, trying to pick a horse that is going to upset the
Why
apple
not?
carts.
Why not? Swan Lake for Doug and Swan Lake for Ron. They're both headed to the
Wow.
ballet if this horse happens to win today in race number 5 on the card. We have just the one clocker horse for you today, and that comes up in race number 8, Joe West. Now, we talked about Joe West. This is the former Finger Lakes runner that was brought here by conditioner Jamie Begg. Their barn favorite, Gallyhead, had a nice winner on the program yesterday. Outworked Juliet on approach. Actually, that's a decent little horse.
Yep.
So that's an interesting move there. 48-1 was the breeze back on the 29th of November. Want to remind everybody about the post-time change for next Thursday's program. And that is a change by about an hour exactly. So 4:30 is the first race post time. We'll start our show at 3:35, and we have a 10 race card in store for you. 5 of those races are races from the canceled Thursday. Oh man, Thursday to Thursday. 5 of them are canceled races, and I did notice, because I've done a little bit of my homework for that card already. There's a few new entries into those races.
And Rafi's picking up some horses because Leo's on days. So Rafi showed up on some of the horses that Leo would have been riding on that program as well. So the most important question that every viewer wants to know, because we're all very worried about you, Elise, says, have you put the new post time into your phone?
It's in. I'm going to prove it to you right now. So that is next. See, it says special 4:30 post time, 3:30. I was off on that.
The 3:34 show.
It was a typo.
And you're going to leave at 1 p.m. Okay, I'm calling it at 12:59 to make sure you're on the road or getting to the car.
But you know who else we have to remind?
Roberto.
The man upstairs.
Yes.
And, you know, Robert was seen jogging on the racetrack just the other day in his shorty shorts. No. Right before plate, there was a feature that was done on Robert. And for whatever reason, we're going to watch it now. But it's finally come out on our social media channels. Likely was a lot of editing that needed to be done.
Well, I imagine if he's wearing shorts in this, it took a couple of months to edit this.
I've been looking forward to this all week long. I haven't even pressed the button on our social media channels because I knew we were going to watch it here today. So without further ado, let's meet Robert Geller.
Off in the valedictory, a perfect start. Inside then, driven away with silent ribbon to the outside. Now going to the challenge for the lead, Amy's Splatter. Funk and Rumble defends the title in the valedictory by 4 lengths.
It's almost like mindfulness, because you do have to absolutely be right into the zone, you know, without putting too much of yourself in there. It's almost like you have to be empty to receive what is about to happen.
Hey, good morning, how are you?
My parents took us to the racetrack when I was 4. So I've been involved in going to the racetrack like a religion every Saturday of my life.
Good morning.
What is that flower? It's beautiful. It's nice. I never expected an opening to come up because openings don't come up very often in announcing. After being at Emerald Downs in Seattle for a long time, I saw the opportunity and I thought, unbelievable after all these years. So when I started here, I felt very connected. I mean, and mornings are beautifully calm, and I mean, there's a lot going on, but there's a set serenity to it. We're sort of following the pattern of the horse as the horse gets awake and gets ready to exercise, and so it sort of in many ways forces us into their world very strongly. So much of being able to bring the race call to life is being connected to the experience, and that connection doesn't always happen instantly. It's the thrill of the race that allows you to sort of discover something. I remember the Alley Wow Stakes years ago, and I just remember as they went to the wire, I said, put the wow in the Alley Wow, and I went, I didn't even know what I was saying, and I was so happy with that.
Road to victory, putting the wow into the alley wow.
Like any job, I have a role to fill and I want to do as well as I can with it. But more importantly, I want their experience to be one that they take home and remember. I'm very gratified when people enjoy a race call.
But it is Holy Helena, 3 in front. Tis a Slam runs to second. But she is poetry in motion, Holy Helena, and she's won it by 3 lengths.
You almost need to be a step ahead of the public on your trust of instinct because you've seen these types of things before and it triggers, I've got it. I can see a horse at the back of the field and I can tell you it's going to win. The actual preparation for studying to be able to call a race actually happens once they come out of the tunnel onto the racetrack and prepare to go to the gate, and when they're in the post parade. It's quite the buzz because you're the first to really tell the story. You know, the people who are watching are reacting, they're responding, and you're feeding off of that energy sometimes when you hear that in the grandstand. But to be actually in the zone of concentration, it's a trust issue. Because if you come in with all these preconceived ideas and all these fancy words that you want to use, and that doesn't match the moment, people can tell. They can really read when you're not genuine.
Moving to the outside, but Quiet Madalena not stopping. Quiet Madalena inside the final furlong, putting them away.
I feel like it's just like a second home. But I never lose the joy and excitement of a race. Yeah. I know what it's like when people just mail it in. It doesn't sound good, and I don't want to be that way.